Hello everyone. Today we are going to solve a beautiful inverse trigonometric function problem asked at the JEE Mains 2026 January session. This question looked lengthy at first, but with the correct concept and observation, it became very easy. So let us solve it step by step and understand the smart approach behind the problem. Now let first carefully observe the problem. The problem is given that maximum value of this function is m by n pi square when x belongs to minus root 3 by 2 1 over root 2, and also given that GCD of m comma n is equal to 1. Then asked what is the value of m plus n. So let us define this function f of x is equal to sine inverse x whole square plus cos inverse x whole square. So first we consider alpha is equal to sine inverse x and beta is equal to cos inverse x. And we know that sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2. This implies our alpha plus beta is equal to pi by 2. This implies beta is equal to pi by 2 minus alpha. So we write this is equal to alpha square plus beta square. So we put beta here pi by 2 minus alpha. So we replace beta value here pi by 2 minus alpha. Therefore f of x is replace alpha square plus beta square. We replace beta value is alpha square, beta is pi by 2 minus alpha. Therefore we break this term is alpha a minus b whole square. So that is alpha square, that is pi by 2, that is pi square by 4 minus 2 into pi by 2 dot alpha plus alpha square, that actually 2 alpha square minus pi alpha plus pi square by 4. Now we write this term as one of the beautiful expression. So we first common 2, that is alpha square minus pi by 2 alpha, and this term is as usual. Therefore this 2 times alpha square, we want to write this is equal to something in square term. So that is alpha square minus 2 dot alpha dot, so we will manage this term pi by 2 alpha. So that is pi by 4, that is pi square by 4 square, and pi square by 4 is remaining term, and this term is we write forcefully, so we subtract it, that is pi square by 8, because here is multiply by 2, so that 16 is cancelled by 2, so it is 8. Therefore it is 2 times alpha minus pi by 4 whole square plus we LCM have, that will be the value is pi square by 8. Therefore we got our fx value is equal to this. If we write the fx in terms of, that is the expression of alpha, so we write it is f alpha now. So that is alpha minus pi by 4 whole square pi square by 8. Now the given that x belongs to minus root 3 by 2 1 over root 2. Now we focus that value x belongs to minus root 3 by 2 1 over root 2. So our expression is alpha, that means alpha means our expression is sine inverse x. So we want to use alpha, that means sine inverse x. So we focus only the sine inverse. So when we apply sine inverse here, sine inverse x that belongs to, that is minus root 3 by 2 value is pi by 3, that means minus pi by 3, because sine inverse minus x we can write minus of sine inverse x, so that value is pi by 4, because 1 over root plus 1 over root 2 pi by 4. This implies alpha belongs to minus pi by 3 or pi by 4. So if we see the graph, alpha value means minus pi by 3, that means this range to this range, and our expression is this f of alpha. So f of alpha is equal to 2 times alpha minus pi by 4 whole square plus pi square by 8. So we want to find the maximum value of this function. So this maximum value only depend on this term only, and this term is positive. So when this term gives the maximum, then we get the maximum value of f alpha. So we choose in this way alpha value such that this function gives the maximum value. Therefore, now we want to choose the alpha value. So alpha belongs to minus pi by 3 to minus pi by 4, and this vertex, that is this alpha minus pi by 4, so that is pi by 4 and that is minus pi by 3. So this gives the our maximum value. So we choose the alpha value as much as negative. So if we choose the that value alpha is equal to, if we choose alpha is equal to minus pi by 3, that will be the gives the our best maximum value of this f of alpha. So we choose alpha is equal to minus pi by 3. So f of minus pi by 3, that is 2 minus pi by 3 minus pi by 4 whole square plus pi square by 8. Now we calculate this term. So that is 12, minus is cancelled when it's, because this is the square, so that is 4 pi plus 3 pi whole square plus pi square by 8. Therefore this is 2 7 pi whole square by 12 plus pi square by 8. Now that is 2 times 49 pi square 144 plus pi square by 8. Now we add, that is 72 to 49 over 72 pi square by 8. Now LCM is 72, that is 49 pi square plus 9 pi square. Therefore that actually 58 pi square over 72 pi square. So we cancel these two terms, so we will get 29 over 36 pi square. And the given that the maximum value of this function is m by n pi square. So we got this value. So it is equal to m by n pi square, and also given that GCD of m comma n is equal to 1. So 29 and 36 GCD is 1. So that is the correct. So this imply our m value is 29 and nth value is 36. And in the question asks what is the value of m plus n. So m plus n is equal to 29 plus 36, that is actually 65. So we got the answer is 65. Therefore overall the questions we are just doing, we take our function f of x, that is sin inverse x whole square plus cos inverse x whole square. We choose this value is alpha, that is alpha square, that is beta square. So we use our identity is sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2. Here we write alpha plus beta is equal to pi by 2, and we take the beta value is pi by 2 minus alpha. So we use here, and this converted to this value is f alpha, so that is reduced to the function of alpha, that is alpha square pi by 2 minus alpha, that we got this value is 2 times alpha minus pi by 4 whole square plus pi square by 8, and given that x belongs to minus root 3 by 2 1 over root 2, then we get our alpha value belongs to minus pi by 3 to pi by 4. Then we put our alpha here is equal to minus pi by 3, because we want to find the maximum value of f of alpha. So we choose as much as possible the negative value of alpha. So we put here alpha is equal to minus pi by 3. Then we get our maximum value is 29 over 36 pi square. Then we compare the value of m and n. Then we got the value of m plus n is equal to 65. So this is our correct answer. Let us first carefully observe the problem. In question asked the number of solution of this equation where the x lies between this interval. So question is tan inverse 4x plus tan inverse 6x is equal to pi by 6, and asked the find the value of x, how many x are valid for this interval. So in this case we use a formula we can write as a note, that is tan inverse A plus tan inverse B, because left hand side are two function are the tan inverse, so that is actually tan inverse A plus B over 1 minus A. This is valid when AB is less than 1 in this given interval. So therefore we write it tan inverse 4x plus 6x. A is 4x and B is 6x. That is 1 minus 4x multiplied by 6x is equal to 5 by 6. Therefore we simplify it. Tan inverse 10x over 1 minus 24x square is equal to pi by 6. Now we multiply tan both sides, then we get 10x over 1 minus 24x square is equal to tan of pi by 6. This implies 10x over 1 minus 24x square, and tan of pi by 6 is equal to 1 over root 3. Now we cross multiply and simplify it, that is 10 root 3x is equal to 1 minus 24x square. So all terms are same side, that is 24x square plus 10 root 3x minus 1 is equal to. So we got a quadratic equation. Now we find the value of x. X is equal to minus b. B is 10 root 3, so that is 10 root 3 plus minus b square, that is 10 root 3 square minus 4. A is 24, b is minus 1 over 2a. A is 24. Now we simplify it, 10 root 3 plus minus root under, that is 300 plus 96, that is 2 multiplied by 24, that is 10 root 3 plus minus 396 to multiply by 24. Therefore 10 root 3 plus minus, that will be written as 6 root under 11. If we break this number 396, then we got this, and that is 2 multiplied by 24. So 2 to cancel, that is 5 root under 3 plus minus 3 root under 11 over 24. Therefore x is equal to this. So if we denote x1 is equal to minus 5 root 3 plus 3 root under 11 over 24, and x2 is equal to minus 5 root 3 minus 3 root under 11 over 24. Now we want to check these two values are lies between the given interval or not. So given interval is this 1 over 2 root 6 to 1 over 2 root 6. So one by one we want to check. First we check x2 is equal to minus 5 root 3 minus 3 root under 11 by 24. In case if you know the value of root under 3 and root under 11 and root under 6 and put this value here and simplify this value, something we got, and we check this value are lies between or not, then we conclude that these values x1 and x2 are this given interval or not. So this process is lengthy and calculative and time taking. So root 3 root 11 and root 6, if we put this value, then it will be take the more time and take some mistakes also. So we approach another method. So we want to check if we can write that is equal to 5 root 3 plus 3 root under 11 over 24. That is, see, that is strictly less than 0. Now we compare this value is 5 root under 3 plus 3 root under 11 over 24 with 1 over 2 root 6, because our interval is minus 2 root 6 to 1 over 2 root 6. So first we compare this value to this value. Actually we cross multiply terms by these terms and these terms by this term. That is actually if we multiply by root 6, 5 root under 3 plus 3 root under 11. We want to check this value is less than or greater than 12. So how to check? So if we multiply root 6 over 5, root 6 multiplied by 5 root 3 plus 3 root under 11, that will be actually, that is 6 root 6, that means root 3 into root 2, that is root 3 into root 3, that is 3. So that is 15 root under 2 plus 3 root under 66. That is actually strictly greater than 12. So if we multiply this number by this number and divided by 2, that is actually 12. So therefore this number is strictly greater than 12. Therefore 5 root 3 plus 3 root under 11 over 24 is strictly greater than 1 over 2 root 6, because we get this number from here. So therefore we straightforwardly say that this number is strictly greater than 2 root 6. That means minus over 5 root 3 plus 3 root under 11 over 24 is strictly less than minus 1 over 2 root 6. That is actually the our x2 value. So x2 is less than minus 1 over 2 root 6. That means x2 is the outside of this range, 1 over minus 2 root 6 to 1 over 2 root 6. So therefore x2 is the solution of our expression. So x2 is cancelled. Now we check x1 is the solution of our equation or not. So x1 is equal to minus 5 root 3 plus 3 root under 11 over 24. So similarly we want to check this number with this number 1 over 2 root 6. So we multiply this number by root 6. So 6 minus 5 root under 3 plus 3 root under 11, and this value is 12. So we want to check which inequality is suitable, greater than or less than. So that is minus 15 root under 2 plus 3 root under 66, that is same. So now question is, it is greater than or less than 12? In this case, from here it is not clear to say it is greater than or less than. Suppose we forcefully write 15 root under 2 plus 3 root under 66 is strictly less than 12. Now we want to check this inequality is true or not. So now we divide 3. So that is 5 root under 2 plus root under 66 less than 4. Now we square it. Actually we want to check this inequality is true or not. So we carry forward these equations and see what is the problem. Now we square it both side, that is 5 root 2 plus root under 66 is less than 4 square. Now we break it the a minus b formula, that will gives 50 plus 66 minus 10 root under 132 is less than 60. So therefore 100 is less than 10 root under 132. So this numbers and this number gives 100 and this number come right side. So therefore 10 less than root under 132. So 132 is strictly greater than 100. Therefore root under 132 is greater than root under 100. This implies root under 132 is greater than 10. So this inequality is true. So our assumption this is true. This inequality is true. That means this is strictly less than 12. That is true. That means this is strictly less than. Therefore minus 5 root under 3 plus 3 root under 11 over 24 is strictly less than 1 over 2 root 6, because this is strictly less than. If we back here, then we get this is strictly less than. So therefore this is strictly less than 1 over 2 root 2. That means that is x1. That is x1 is less than 1 over. Therefore x1 is lies between this interval minus 1 over 2 root 6 to 1 over 2 root 6. So we got x2 is not lies between 1 over minus 2 root 6 to 1 over 2 root 6, but x2 is lies between this interval. So therefore our equation, this equation gives one solutions, x1, that is. So number of solution is 1, that is the 4 option is correct answer in this interval. So overall the question we use one formula, that is tan inverse A plus tan inverse B, that is actually tan inverse A plus B over 1 minus AB, where AB is less than 1 in this given interval, and we break it and simplify, we will got a quadratic equation, that is 24 x square plus 10 root 3x minus 1 is equal to 0, and we find the solution. There are two solutions, x1 and x2. Then we check which one is the lies between this our interval minus 2 root 6 to 1 over 2 root 6, and we see that x1 is lies between this interval, so therefore the number of solution is 1. So we got our answer. Let us first carefully observe the problem. In question, it is asked what is the domain of this, and tell this domain is like that, and asked what is the value of alpha plus beta plus gamma plus delta. So first write our function f of x is equal to sine inverse 1 over x square minus 2x minus 2. So first we see what is the domain and range of the sine function. Sine function actually belongs to minus 1 to 1 minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So sine function domain is minus 1 to 1 and range is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So this function actually belongs to minus 1 to 1. That means mod of this function 1 over x square minus 2x minus 2 is less or equal to 1. That means, so some number is lies between minus 1 to 1, that means this modulus is less or equal to 1. So therefore we write it clearly. So 1 over x square minus 2x minus 2 modulus is less or equal to 1. So that means is x square minus 2x minus 2 modulus is greater equal to 1. When we multiply it, so that inequality gives this inequality. Therefore, this means x square minus 2x minus 2 greater equal to 1, or x square minus 2x minus 2 is lesser equal to minus 1. So these two cases we study. So first case is we take x square minus 2x minus 2 is greater equal to 1. This imply x square minus 2x minus 3 is greater equal. So if we middle term this, we get x minus 3 x plus 1 is greater equal to 0. Therefore these two product actually greater equal to 0. So what is the value of x now? So from this x minus 3 is greater equal to 0, or x minus 3 is lesser equal to, so we want to find the value of x from here. So we choose in such a way of this value of x as this inequality holds. So x minus 3 into x plus 1 is greater equal to 0. So if we choose in this way, x value is x greater equal to 3 or x lesser equal to minus 1, then this inequality is hold. Or any other case, x lesser equal to 3 and x greater equal to minus 1, if we choose, this type of value are not hold this inequality. In this case we choose this value, so x greater equal to 3, x lesser equal to minus 1. So if we choose this, then we take any value of this interval and put here, then we see this inequality is not hold. So we choose only this value, x greater equal to 3 or x lesser equal to minus 1. Therefore we got from the case 1, x value is this. Now we study case 2. Case 2 is this, x square minus 2x minus 2 is lesser equal to minus 1. Therefore x square minus 2x minus 2 is lesser equal to minus 1. This imply x square minus 2x minus 1 is lesser equal to 0. This imply, if we write is very beautiful way, so x square minus 2x plus 1 minus 1 minus 1 is lesser equal to 0. So we want to write first term is, this term is x minus 1 whole square, x minus 1 whole square minus 2 lesser equal to 0. this implies x minus 1 is lesser or equal to 2. Therefore, that is square. So x square minus 1 lesser or equal to, that means x minus 1 is value is lesser or equal to root 2, as this lesser or equal to minus root 2. So this implies x value is 1 minus root 2 lesser or equal to x lesser or equal to 1 plus root 2. So any number is, suppose x square lesser or equal to a, that means x lies between minus root a less equal to x less equal to root a. So this implies here. Therefore we got from the case x value is lies between 1 minus root 2 to 1 plus root. Therefore from both case we got the value. From case 1 we got x greater or equal to 3 or x lesser equal to minus 1, and case 2 we got 1 minus root 2 lesser equal to x lesser equal to 1 plus root 2. And given that our domain is this minus infinity comma alpha union beta comma gamma union delta comma infinity, so our domain we write in this way. So 1 minus root 2, that is x greater equal to 3, x lesser equal to minus 1. So x lesser equal to minus 1, that means minus infinity to minus 1 union, that is close, that is close, that is lesser equal to, so 1 minus root 2 comma 1 plus root 2 close union x greater equal to 3 means 3 to infinity. So now we compare our domain to this domain minus infinity to alpha union beta comma gamma union delta comma infinity. So this implies alpha gives minus 1, beta gives 1 minus root 2, gamma gives 1 plus root 2, and delta is equal to 3. And question asked what is the value of alpha plus beta plus gamma plus delta. So we put the value of alpha, beta, gamma and delta. Therefore alpha is minus 1 plus beta is 1 minus root 2 plus 1 plus root 2 plus 3. So these are cancelled, these are cancelled. That means 1 plus 3 are remaining, that is actually 4. So this is the answer. If we see the option 3 is the correct answer, that is 4. Therefore overall the question we break the sine inverse function 1 over x square minus 2x minus 2. So in question asked what is the value of this function domain. So we know sine inverse x is domain is minus 1 to 1. So this function also belongs to minus 1 to 1. So that means this modulus value is less equal to 1. So we calculate it here and we got the domain is minus infinity to minus 1 union 1 minus root 2 to 1 plus root 2 union 3 to infinity. Then we compare the value alpha, beta, gamma and delta, and then find the value of alpha plus beta plus gamma plus theta, that we get, that is the value is 4. So in this option we see the 4 is the one of the option, therefore we got the answer. Now let first carefully observe the problem. In the question it is asked find the principal value of this inverse trigonometric function of this expression. So expression is tan 2 sine inverse 2 over root under 13 minus 2 cos inverse 3 root under. So if we define this sine is equal to alpha, this cos inverse is equal to beta, then this expression becomes tan of 2 alpha minus 2 beta, where alpha is equal to sine inverse 2 root under 13 and beta is equal to cos inverse 3 root under 13. So now we find the value of this tan of 2 alpha minus 2 beta. So here we put a formula here, we can write as a note tan of a minus b, that is tan a minus tan b over 1 plus tan a tan b. So we use the formula here. So we write it, that is a is 2 alpha and B is 2 beta. Therefore, this formula is tan of 2 alpha minus tan of 2 beta over 1 plus tan 2 alpha tan 2 beta. So our alpha is equal to this sin inverse of 2 root under 13 and beta is equal to this cos function. So we will find the value tan 2 alpha and tan 2 beta using these two equations. So one by one we calculate. So alpha is equal to sin inverse 2 root under 13. This implies sin of alpha is equal to 2 root under 13. This implies cos alpha is equal to root under 1 minus sin square alpha, that is 2 root under 13 whole square. Therefore, cos alpha is equal to root under 1 minus 4 by 13, that is actually 13 minus 4 root under 13, that is root under 9 by 13, that is 3 root under 13. So we got cos alpha. So therefore tan alpha is equal to 2 root under 13 over 3 root under 13, that is actually 2 by 3. So our actually need the tan 2 alpha. So we use here another identity is tan 2 alpha is equal to 2 tan alpha over 1 minus tan square alpha. So using this identity we find tan of 2 alpha. So we have tan of alpha. So tan of alpha is equal to 2 by 3. Therefore tan 2 alpha is equal to 2 times 2 by 3, 1 minus 2 by 3 whole square. So that is 4 by 3, that is 1 minus 4 by 9. So it is equal to 4 by 3 over 9 minus 4 by 9. Therefore tan 2 alpha is equal to 4 by 3 into 9 by 5. Therefore it is 3 12 by 5. Now we got the tan 2 alpha. Similarly we find tan 2 beta using this beta is equal to, so beta is actually root under 10, so it is 10. Now we find tan of 2 beta. We know beta is equal to cos inverse 3 root under 10. This implies cos beta is equal to 3 root under 10. So sin of beta is equal to root over 1 minus cos square beta, that is 3 root under 10 whole square. So this implies 1 minus 9 over 10, that is actually root under 10 minus 9 over 10. So that is 1 root under 10. Therefore we got sin beta and cos beta. Therefore tan of beta is equal to 1 root under 10 over 3 root under 10, that is actually 1 over 3. So tan beta is equal to 1 over 3, that is 1/3. Now we find tan of 2 beta. So we using this formula tan 2 beta is equal to 2 tan beta over 1 minus tan square beta. So put the value of tan beta, that is 2 multiplied by tan beta is 1/3. So 1/3 over 1 minus 1/3 square, that is 2 by 3, 1 minus 1 by 9. Now we calculate it and simplify. 2 by 3 multiply by 9 by 9 minus 1, that is 2 by 3, 9 by 8. So that is cancelled, that is 4. So that is 9 over 12. Now it simplify by, that is 3, that is 4, that is 3 over 4. Now we actually need this value of this expression tan 2 alpha minus tan 2 beta over 1 plus tan 2 alpha tan 2 beta. So we got tan 2 alpha and tan 2 beta both values. So put here. So then we get the principal value of this expression. So that is tan 2 alpha minus tan 2 beta over 1 plus tan 2 alpha tan 2 beta. So this implies tan 2 alpha is equal to 12 by 5, 12 by 5 minus tan 2 beta is equal to 3 by 4, 1 plus 12 by 5 into 3 by, so now we simplify it, that is LCM is 20, 12 multiplied by 4 minus 5 into 3, that is 1 plus 36 over 20. Therefore that is 48 minus 15 over 20 multiplied by 20 plus 36. This 20 cancel, that is 33 over 6 5. Therefore this value is 36 over 56. Therefore we got the answer. If we see the option, we see the fourth option is the correct option. Therefore overall the question, we express our term is this term sine inverse 2 over 13 minus 2 cos inverse 3 root under 10. So we assume that this sine inverse is equal to alpha, this cos inverse is equal to beta, then this expression become tan 2 alpha minus tan 2 beta. Then we expand this tan of a minus b formula, then we find the value of tan 2 alpha and tan 2 beta and put their value here, and we get the answer is 33 over 56. That is the answer. Let us first carefully observe the problem. In question, it is given that the domain of this function f(x), function like that, is this interval, closed interval alpha comma beta, and asked what is the value of alpha plus 2 beta. So first we write the function f of x, that is cos inverse 2x minus 5 over 11 minus 3x plus sine inverse 2x square minus 3x plus 1. So find the domain of this function. So in this case we want to find the domain of this indivisible function, then we intersect this domain, then we get the total domain of this function fx. So in this case we first find the domain of this cos inverse x. Now first we see these two functions, sine and cos function are defined in, first sine inverse x is defined minus 1 to 1 to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, and cos inverse x is defined minus 1 to 1, same domain and range is different, 0 to pi. So domain are same in the both sine inverse function and cos inverse function. So that means these values are lies between minus 1 to 1, and this value also lies between minus 1 to 1. So first we find this cos inverse x minus 5 over 11 minus 3x. First we find this domain of this function. That means 2x minus 5 over minus 11 over 11 minus 3x is lies between minus 1 to 1. That means modulus value of this function 2x minus 5 over 11 minus 3x is lesser equal to 1. Then we multiply this modulus of 2x minus 5 is lesser equal to modulus of 11 minus 3. In this situation, if we square the both terms, that will be the very easy to find the value of x. So we square 2x minus 5 is lesser equal to 11 minus 3x. Therefore, if we break the square, that is 4x square minus 20x plus 25 less equal to 121 minus 66x plus 9x square. Now simplify it, then we get 5x square 46x plus 96 is greater equal to 0. Now we break it in this middle term, then we get 5x square equal to 30 plus 16x plus 96 is greater equal to 0. This implies 5x square minus 30x minus 16x plus 96 is greater equal to 0. So in this term we commute 5x, that is x minus 6, and this term is minus 16 is commoned out, so x minus 6 is greater equal to 0. This implies 5x minus 16 x minus 6 greater equal to 0. Therefore we got these two factors, 5x minus 16 into x minus 6 is greater equal to 0. Therefore we want to find the value of x from here. So we break this, suppose that is 16 by 5, that is x. These two values are the critical value of this function. So when this is greater equal to 0, these two functions, that means these values are lies this side or this side. That means x is lesser equal to 16 by 5 or x is greater equal to 6. Therefore, the domain of this function is minus infinity to 16 by 5 union 6 to infinity. Next, we want to find the domain of the sine inverse 2x square minus 3x plus 1. So that means 2x square minus 3x plus 1 is value is minus 1 to 1 because sine inverse x is from minus 1 to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So this value is lies between to minus 1 to 1. So when we take this side that is the lower bound minus 1 lesser equal to 2x square minus 3x plus 1. This imply 2x square minus 3x plus 2 is greater equal to 0. So when this is the quadratic terms and this is greater equal to 0, then we see the discriminant. Discriminant is equal to minus b square minus 4ac, that is equal to minus 9 minus 16 is equal to minus 7 is strictly less than 0. That means this term is strictly greater than 0. That means 2x square minus 3x plus 2 is strictly greater than 0. If we write this term as equal to y is equal to 2x square minus 3x plus 2, then we break it and we see that is y minus beta something and that is x minus alpha square. So something like that we will got some constant is here. So if you see, this is the parabola and this alpha beta are the vertex. So it is like this. So this value actually is strictly greater than 0. So it is not touch the x-axis. That means this value is strictly greater than 0. So it is hold for all x. So for all x it is valid. All x, this 2x square minus 3x plus 2 is strictly greater than 0. So next we find this term is the upper bound. So upper bound is 2x square minus 3x plus 1 is lesser equal to 1. This imply 2x square minus 3x is less equal to 0. This imply, so when we accommodate, so that is 2x minus 3 is less equal to 0. Therefore, these critical values are x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 3 by 2. These are the critical value of this function. So when it's lesser equal to 0, so if we see the value is when it lies between this interval, this is the strictly less than 0, because if we choose this value inside this somewhere, if and we put it here, this inequality hold, and when we choose outside this interval and put some values of this inequality, this is not hold. So when lies between x, when x is lies between 0 to 3 by 2, then this inequality is hold. Therefore the domain is 0 to 3 by 2. So both case we got the domain. First case we got the domain is case 1. We got the domain is minus infinity to 16 by 5 union 6 to infinity. And second case, that is case 2, we got the domain is 0 to 3 by 2. So domain of this actual function is when you take the intersection of these two domains, 16 over 5 union 6 to infinity, that is actually 0 to 3 by 2. In question it is given that the domain is alpha comma beta close interval. So we got the domain is like that. So we compare this value. So therefore alpha comma beta is equal to 0 to 3 by 2. This implies alpha is equal to 0, beta is equal to 3 by 2. And question asked what is the value of alpha plus 2 beta. Therefore alpha plus 2 beta is equal to 0 plus 2 times 3 by 2, that is 2 cancel, that is 3. So 3 is the correct answer. So if you see the option, first option is the correct answer, 3 is here. So overall the question we are just doing some function or cos inverse function and sine inverse function are given, that we find the domain of this function of f of x. So in this case we individually find this cos inverse this function domain and this sine inverse function domain. Then we take the intersection of these two domain, then we get the actual domain of this function f of x, and that is we get 0 to 3 by 2. That is in the question it is given that is alpha and beta. We get from here we get alpha is equal to 0 and beta is equal to 3 by 2, and question asks what is the value of alpha plus 2 beta, that is 0 plus 2 times 3 by 2 is equal to 3. So this is the answer. Let us first carefully observe the problem. In question, it is given that k is equal to this expression and asked the number of solution of this equation. Actually asked what is the values of x. So first write k is equal to tan of pi by 4 plus half cos inverse 2 by 3 plus tan of sine inverse 2 by 3. Let us define theta is equal to half sine inverse 2 by 3. We know that sine inverse 2 by 3 plus cos inverse 2 by 3 is equal to pi by 2. So actually we define this is the theta. So we want to find this value in terms of theta. So that's why we write sine inverse of 2 by 3 plus cos inverse of 2 by 3 is equal to pi by 2. This is the identity. So we multiply is half, that is half sine inverse 2 by 3 plus half cos inverse 2 by 3 is equal to pi by 4. Therefore this value is theta. So that is the theta. So we put here. So this implies theta plus half cos inverse 2 by 3 is equal to pi by 4. This implies half cos inverse 2 by 3 is equal to pi by 4 minus theta. Therefore k is equal to, we write in terms of theta. So k is equal to tan of, that is pi by 4 plus cos, that half of cos inverse 2 by 3 is equal to pi by 4 minus theta, pi by 4 minus theta, plus second term is this tan of theta. Therefore tan of theta, that is equal to tan of pi by 2 minus theta plus tan of theta. Therefore we got k is equal to tan pi by 2 minus theta plus tan theta. We know tan is changes at pi by 2. Therefore this is convert to cot theta plus tan theta. Now we convert this whole terms in sine and cos functions. Actually we want to find the value of k. So that is cos theta by sine theta plus sine theta over cos theta. The LCM is sine theta cos theta. So write is sine theta cos theta, that is cos square theta plus sin square theta, that value is 1. So next we put 1 over sin theta cos theta. So we know that 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to sine of 2 theta. So if you adjust here 2, that is multiply by 2, that is 2 over sine 2 theta. Now we put the value of theta. In the beginning we write theta is equal to half of sine inverse 2 by 3. So put here, so 2 over sine of 2 multiplied by half sine inverse 2 by 3. That is actually k is equal to 2 over sine of sine inverse, this 2 and 2 are cancelled, that is sine inverse 2 by 3. So sine inverse 2 by 3. Therefore 2 over 2 by 3, that is 2 multiplied by 3 by 2, that's 2 cancel, so that is 3. So we got k is equal to 3. Now in question asked the number of solution of this equation. So we put value of k here, then we find the value of x. So sine inverse ax minus 1 is equal to sine inverse x minus cos inverse x. So put k is equal to 3 here. So sine inverse 3x minus 1 is equal to sine inverse x minus cos inverse x. So we know that sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2. So we replace this sine inverse x is equal to pi by 2 minus cos inverse x, and this cos inverse x is remaining are same. So therefore this sine inverse 3x minus 1 is equal to pi by 2 minus 2 cos inverse x. Why we replace this value here? Because if we multiply both sides the sine, then we get 3x minus 1 is equal to sine of pi by 2 minus 2 cos inverse x. So sine function is changed at pi by 2, so we get some function of cos. So that's why we replace this value sine inverse x here. So therefore this is actually 3x minus 1 is equal to sine of pi by 2 minus 2 cos inverse x. So next 3x minus 1, so this sine function is changed at pi by 2, therefore that will change to cos of 2 cos inverse x. Therefore that is cos of 2 cos inverse x. Now use one formula, that is we write as a note, 2 cos inverse x is equal to, in terms of cos inverse 2x square minus 1. So put the value of 2 cos inverse x is equal to cos inverse 2x square minus 1. Therefore this will change to cos inverse 2x square minus 1. Therefore this cos and cos inverse are cancelled. This implies 3x minus 1 is equal to 2x square minus 1. Therefore we got this equation, 3x minus 1 is equal to 2x square minus 1. This minus 1 are cancelled. Therefore 2x square minus 3x is equal to 0. Therefore we factorize it, x is common, 2x minus 3. This is equal to 0. This implies x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 3 by 2. So in question asked the number of solution of this equation. So we got two value, x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 3 by 2. Now question is, these two values are the solution. So if you carefully observe this equation, there are involved the sine inverse x, cos inverse x. So sine inverse x and cos inverse x are the domain are minus 1 to 1. So if therefore the x belongs to this range, then that will be the solution. So this is the outside the range, 3 by 2, that is 1.5. So outside the range, so this x is equal to 3 by 2 is not a solution. So this is the cancel. So only x is equal to 0 is belongs to this range. Therefore x is equal to 0 is the solution. Therefore the number of solution of this equation is 1. Therefore the overall the question, we first define theta is equal to half sine inverse 2 by 3 and then find the value of half of cos inverse 2 by 3 and put this equation in k, then we got k is equal to 3 and put this solution equation sine inverse kx minus 1 is equal to sine inverse x minus cos inverse x, put it here, k is equal to 3 and we got kx is equal to 0 and x is equal to 3 by 2. 3 by 2 is the outside the range of this domain of sine inverse x and cos inverse x, that is the minus 1 to 1. So that's why this value considered, that is rejected. So x is equal to 0 is the only solution. Therefore the number of solution of this equation is 1. So 1 is the correct answer.